healing the feeling of loneliness in a crowd. Dear beloved, I invite you to pause for a moment. Sit down, take a gentle breath in, and exhale slowly, as if you're setting down the invisible suitcase you've been carrying all day at your feet. No one sees that suitcase, just as no one sees what you've been carrying for so long, an unnamed loneliness, the feeling that you're in the midst of a crowd, yet still feel like a stranger. Perhaps you've just finished a lively conversation and still feel empty inside. Perhaps you laughed a lot at last night's party, but came home and cried in the darkness. Perhaps you're working in an office full of people, yet still feel like you're invisible. I understand, and you're not wrong. You're just feeling what thousands of others feel too, but no one speaks of it. Dear beloved, loneliness in a crowd is real. It's the deep echo of a heart waiting for true connection. It doesn't come from a lack of people, but from a lack of something deeper, a lack of presence with yourself, for yourself. We live in a noisy world. We send messages without sending our hearts. We're online, but our hearts are empty. We fear silence, but it's in stillness that we rediscover our true call. So today, I invite you to name what no one names. I invite you to bravely look at the part you've tried to hide, not to condemn it, but to embrace it, gently, like hugging a child afraid of the dark. You don't need a valid reason to feel lonely. You don't need anyone to validate it. You just need to whisper to yourself, there's a part of me feeling lost. And that's completely allowed. I don't need to pretend to be okay when my heart is empty. I can acknowledge my loneliness without judgment. I deserve connection starting with myself. Now, you've placed your hand on the pain. We will continue to listen deeper to the call in your heart, and step by step, return to the place you've never truly left, where you're seen, loved, and no longer alone. Dear beloved, now that you've named what no one sees, I invite you to settle to sit down beside that loneliness with me, not to chase it away, not to get over it faster, just to be present with it, like sitting beside a friend who's just endured a long sleepless night. No one likes the feeling of loneliness. It makes our hearts contract, our chests feel squeezed, makes us question, is something wrong with me? I'm here. Why do I still feel like I don't belong? Dear beloved, there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing needs fixing. It's just a part inside you waiting to be seen without being dismissed, without being labeled too sensitive or too weak. I want you to imagine that in your heart there's a room, and in that room, there's an empty chair where loneliness sits quietly. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't scream. It just waits for you to enter and sit across from it. No need to say anything. Just be there. Let it know it doesn't need to hide anymore. It's acknowledged. It's part of this journey. It deserves a place in your heart, like a puzzle piece that's never been hugged. I've lived through parties with laughter, lights, and toasts, but sometimes I felt like a stray leaf falling into a stream. I've learned not to run from that feeling. I invite it to sit with me, and I say, you can stay here. I won't leave you alone. You can do that too, dear beloved. You can place your hand on your heart right now and whisper, I see you, my loneliness. I won't chase you away anymore. You can't heal what you've never dared to acknowledge. And right now, you're doing it with the greatest gentleness, listening to yourself. I acknowledge my feeling of loneliness. I don't need to hide anymore. I am a house spacious enough for both light and shadows. Dear beloved, let that loneliness sit beside you a little longer. It's melting in your presence, not with words, but with non-judgmental love. In the next part, we'll go a bit deeper to where that loneliness begins, the moment you lost connection with yourself. Dear beloved, when you've bravely sat down with your loneliness, when you no longer chase it away, nor give it a heavy name, I invite you to go a little deeper, inside, to where that loneliness truly begins. Because perhaps you're not really missing someone, but you've unintentionally lost something more important: connection with yourself. Close your eyes and imagine you're walking down a long hallway, slowly, barefoot, your heart as still as a calm lake. At the end of that hallway, there's a door. The door leads back to you, not the you of now, but the pure you, the one who once enjoyed being alone, who once knew what it meant to be enough, who once felt lovable without doing anything. You approach, and the door opens on its own. No sound, just a gentle stream of light pouring out, and you see yourself sitting there. You say nothing, you just look, and the deepest part of you is looking back at you. You might feel choked up, because how long has it been since you sought connection outside, forgetting that true connection begins within. Dear beloved, I want you to place your hand on your heart and whisper softly, my dear, I've forgotten you for so long, but from today, I promise to return. The moment you return to yourself, the loneliness begins to dissolve. Not because someone appears outside, but because you're no longer absent from yourself. The connection you crave isn't in your phone, isn't in a date, isn't in the number of people around you. It's in your heart, where you pause and ask, what do you need today? How are you feeling? Do you want to be hugged? Dear beloved, when you learn to return to yourself like this, wherever you are, you carry a home with you, and from there, loneliness gradually turns into gentle peace, no longer stinging, just exhaling lightly. I return to myself. I no longer seek connection outside. I am the friend my heart has always waited for. Dear beloved, in the next part, we'll meet again a very fragile part that you've forgotten, the inner child within you who once felt forgotten and is now ready to be fully embraced in your light. Dear beloved, now that you've returned to yourself, when you no longer chase connection from the outside world, I invite you to sink deeper one more layer, where the feeling of loneliness truly began, where a very small part of you has been forgotten, the inner child within you, who has been silent for years, curled up in the corner of your heart, not out of anger, but out of fear of rejection, fear of being ignored, fear of not being worthy of love. Imagine you're entering a very old room where the light filters in just enough for you to see a child sitting huddled, hugging their knees, eyes wide open, not crying, just waiting. No one knows how long they've waited, and no one can enter there except you. You approach, not in haste, just with the gentlest presence. You sit down beside them, extend your hand, and wait, not to force them to open up right away, but to let them know you won't leave. Gradually, That inner child turns to look at you. Their gaze might be hesitant, might be doubtful, but it also holds something very precious hope. Dear beloved, your inner child doesn't need you to do anything. They just need you to say, I'm here, and I won't leave anymore. You can hug them now, gently, no words, just arms and warmth and breath. They might cry, you might cry, but it's no longer the sorrow of abandonment, but tears of return. I remember when I first met my inner child again. I didn't know what to say. I just sat quietly beside them, day after day, and little by little, they began to trust me. And little by little, I no longer felt lonely. Dear beloved, that inner child is where loneliness once began, and also where love begins to flow again. From the moment you place your hand on their head, from the moment you promise not to leave them behind anymore, that's when you no longer feel missing a part, because that part has been loved again. I embrace my inner child with gentleness. I no longer forget myself. We are one and we are whole. Dear beloved, we've just done something very profound, given back to yourself, a part that was left behind. In the next part, we'll extend those arms beyond yourself, to reconnect with life, with the world around you, no longer as an outsider, but as part of it all. Dear beloved, when you've sat down beside your inner child, when you've whispered into your heart the gentle promise, I'll be here forever, that's when you're ready to step outside again, but not to seek someone, but to reconnect with life. Have you noticed when we feel lonely, everything around us becomes blurred? The bird song no longer resonates in our hearts. The gentle morning sunlight no longer touches our skin. People's faces, familiar or strange, all become distant like shadows, because we've forgotten something very important. We don't just need connection with people. We need connection with life, with the flow of the universe, with the breath of nature, with the heartbeat of the earth in our hearts. Dear beloved, try this. One morning, when you step outside, pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath, place your hand on your chest, and feel your heart is beating. Leaves are swaying, wind is touching your cheek, the sun is smiling, all of it living with you. You're not alone. I believe nature is one of the most powerful healing companions. I often take slow walks, not to go anywhere, but to touch the trees with my gaze, to whisper to small flower petals, to hear the water say to me, I'm flowing too, soothing too. Dear beloved, expand your circle of connection, not just to people, but to all that lives light, air, sound, scent, movement. And then you'll realize you're not lonely in a crowd, because you've never been separate. You just need to remember, that you're a part, that you belong. I connect with life with an open heart. I'm not lost. I belong. I am the heartbeat of the universe in human form. You're stepping back to yourself and to the world. But there's one more profound thing for us to touch. In the next part, I'll invite you into the moment of forgiveness for yourself, for those who hurt you, and for the loneliness that taught you to return. Dear beloved, when the loneliness has been heard, when you've returned into your own arms, and when you begin to feel life breathing with you. That's when your heart is strong enough to touch a deeper layer in this healing journey. Forgiveness. You might not realize, but sometimes we hold onto loneliness like a familiar cloak because we can't forgive those who left us, can't forgive promises that weren't kept, can't forgive ourselves for needing someone too much, for trying to hold on, for being weak, for opening up, then hurting. Dear beloved, let me say this slowly, gently, like wind touching your cheek at dusk. There's nothing wrong with having loved. There's nothing wrong with having trusted. There's nothing wrong with having hoped, expected, needed a hand to hold you in the crowd. All of it is just proof that you've lived true to your heart, and now you can place your hand on your chest and whisper to yourself, I forgive you, my inner child, for everything you didn't know, for the tears you swallowed, for the eyes that waited in vain, for trying so hard that no one saw. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. Forgiveness is stopping the hurt to yourself. It's giving your heart lightness. It's allowing yourself to move on, not chained to old pieces. Dear beloved, forgive them those who couldn't love you the way you needed, because perhaps they never knew how to love themselves. They couldn't give what they've never received. And if you can forgive even just a little, your heart will breathe easier. You'll no longer feel lost in a crowd because you're no longer demanding someone fill what you're learning to give yourself. I forgive myself. Every cell in me softens. I forgive others, and I am free. I deserve lightness and unconditional love. Now that you're lighter, when the burden begins to dissolve like morning mist, let me lead you to the final part of this journey, where you not only end loneliness, but feel deep connection with the inner light, the source of love that's never left you, not even for a second. Dear beloved, now that the pains have been embraced, when the truth in your heart is understood, and when gentle forgiveness begins to bloom like a lotus in your heart, we can step into the deepest, brightest, and also the most beautiful part of this journey. That's where you begin to feel that you've never truly been lonely, that beneath all the emptiness, under the noise of the world and indifferent gazes, there's always a light, a warm flow, a source of life whispering softly, I'm here with you, for you, as you, that light is you, your soul, the pure part that's never been stained by rejection, betrayal, or forgetfulness, the part of you that's still whole and always loves you. You can close your eyes, breathe in deeply, and imagine that light radiating from your chest, like a candle being relit. At first, it might be faint, but don't worry, you don't need to do anything. Just breathe, just believe. That light knows the way back. It always knows how to find you. Dear beloved, from that light, you'll see the miracle. You don't need someone in the crowd to feel whole, because you've connected with yourself. And when you connect with yourself, you naturally connect with the world, not through fear, but through love. You begin to look at people not to be recognized, but to love, not to be held, but to be free. And then, miraculously, when you love yourself, you no longer feel alone in a crowd, because you've brought the crowd into your heart. You don't need anyone to fill you because you're overflowing. The light within me always shines. I connect with myself, and the world embraces me with love. I walk through this life with a full heart. Dear beloved, thank you for walking this journey with me, from the loneliness that seemed no one understood, to the deep connection with yourself. You've been very brave. You deserve all the gentlest, most loving, and most beautiful things life can offer. Dear beloved, when you've touched the light within yourself, when you felt that you're not truly lonely, that's when you can open your heart to the outside world in a new, strong, and safe way. You no longer need to try to fit in to be loved. You no longer need to wear a mask to be accepted. Now, you can show up as yourself, whole and gentle. I want you to imagine you're stepping into a crowded space, a cafe, a meeting, a party. But this time, instead of feeling lost, you carry a warm flame in your chest. That flame is the love you give yourself. You enter that space not to seek anyone's gaze, but to offer your own presence. When you look at others with loving eyes, you no longer see them as strangers. You see they're also learning to love themselves, also hurt, also once lonely. And then a miracle happens. Loneliness dissolves not because you're loved, but because you're loving. You no longer hide within yourself. You open up. You breathe with the world, but you don't lose yourself anymore. I show up in this world as myself. I am whole in my heart. I connect with others through truth and love. Dear beloved, you've come a long way. From what seemed like only darkness, you've lit up not just for yourself, but for hearts needing hope. Dear beloved, we've walked a journey together from the shadow of loneliness to the light of presence, love, and connection. Now, I invite you to return, not to sadness, but to the home within where you're always welcomed, where you always belong, where you've never lost yourself. You can close your eyes for a moment. Inhale, exhale, and listen to the very soft whisper from your heart. My love, I'm here. Inner child, I'm still here with you. Dear beloved, I've never left you. You might be in a crowd, but now you no longer feel lonely because you carry yourself with you. You are the shining candle in the bustling space. You are the point of stillness in a rushing world. You are love walking on gentle feet. And if one day the feeling of loneliness returns, remember you don't have to start over. You just need to place your hand on your chest. Whisper, I'm here with you, and you'll see the light again. I return to myself with love, with peace. I'm no longer lost because I always have myself. I am love. I am light. I am my safe home. Dear beloved, I'm proud of you because you've bravely looked at loneliness and turned it into a door opening to unconditional love. Now, I invite you to continue living lightly, deeply, and radiantly with a heart fully embraced. And if you forget your light, come back here. I'll always be here. Love you forever. Louise.